Take a breath together. Where do you even start? You know, really, where do you even start? And yet in this teaching, we know that this is here for us to move through. That this sense of loss, whatever gets opened up for us, that it's an opportunity to move through something. It's an opportunity to step into it in a very powerful, you feel it, right? In a very deep way. And there's something beautiful about coming together and doing it in community. There's something about when we come together and we do this together. Because I can feel you holding me, and I hope you can feel me holding you. As we navigate what gets brought up whenever we're dealing with loss and death and pain and just the missing. My dad's birthday is May 31st, and so Memorial Day weekend is always my dad's birthday. It's always right there. And there isn't a day that goes by that I don't miss him. Deeply, powerfully. And yet somehow I'm still living, right? Somehow I'm still moving through my life. And we know there's only one life. So how do we navigate that? How do we actually hold all of that at the same time? I've been thinking a lot about memory. What is memory? How do we, in Memorium, how do we honor, how do we hold that which is no longer with us? How do we honor that? How do we allow it to nurture us and sustain us and move us forward? Because I don't know about you, but sometimes those losses, that grief, that missing, can feel as if I'm paralyzed, can feel as if I don't know how to move forward. And this idea of celebrating or honoring, remembering those who gave their lives for something so powerful, which is us, our ideal. The ideals that we hold to be true in America, the ideals that we hold to be true of freedom, justice, and compassion. I stand in awe of those people that literally give their lives in the name of what they believe in the name of the thing that they value so much, that they would give up this, because it is that important. They step into the big death, right? We don't know what's on the other side of that. We have our ideas, we have our concepts, we have our understanding. Here in Unity, what we believe as a movement is that we are eternal beings having a human experience. And so whatever is on the other side of that threshold, whatever that may be, that it is not the end, it is a beginning of something new. It is a transition, a transformation into another way of being, another level of consciousness, another understanding of what life is. And when I say life in this case, I mean life with a capital L. And then we have the little deaths that we all experience all the time, day by day, those little deaths. And I had a very wise friend tell me once, she's sitting right here, Rosanna, tell me once that those little deaths and how we navigate those little deaths are what prepare us to be able to navigate that big death. That it is the small experiences of loss that create and build a capacity within ourselves that allow us to truly be present and to move into and to acknowledge and to welcome, dare I say the word welcome, the big death. And it's not something as a culture and as a society that we're particularly comfortable with. We avoid it. I've been sitting with, even Memorial Day, how many people are actually spending time today in memory? The actual meaning of this holiday, how many people are actually devoting even a moment to what this holiday is here for? Because it's uncomfortable. We all want to try to avoid it and skate around it. We call that in our teaching a bypass, right? We want to bypass around what makes us uncomfortable. We want to get to the other side because we know the good's on the other side. So let's just get to the good. But it doesn't work that way. We have to navigate the all that we are. We can't short-circuit it. And yet in our culture, that is too often what we try and do. I was thinking about 9/11, and I was thinking about it the years immediately preceding that incident and how that day was solemn, and it was something. And yet nowadays, 9/11 is becoming another day. Think about Pearl Harbor, the day that would live in infamy. There's an entire generation out there who has no idea what that day is. So how does memory serve us? And when does memory get in the way of our healing? When does holding on to a memory for too long stop us from being able to actually step into our own next level of transformation and growth? And we can't do that unless we are willing to really face it and move through. And I call it going straight through to the heart of God. Because if we are willing to enter into the very core of our pain and our loss and our sense of despair, if we are truly willing to face that and not run away from it, not be afraid of what it means or what we think it means, what we discover is that it truly is only love. Really, what we find at the very center of it all is love. When my dad made his transition, I spent a good 3 weeks in the pits of utter depression and I literally couldn't move. Chris said that she was going to give me another couple of days and that she was going to really start to worry. But I knew what I was doing. It was conscious that I was going to dive into all of the pain that I was feeling, all of the frustration that I was feeling, all of the anger that I was feeling, all of it. That I was going to dive right into the very heart of it and really face it and make my peace with what is, with what actually is. And in that process, all of a sudden, my father was with me again. Because during those 3 weeks, I couldn't feel him. I couldn't sense him. I couldn't sense anything. And yet when I stepped all the way to the rock bottom of it, then all of a sudden, there he was. And he's here. Because he lives in my memory, he lives in me, because there's only one mind. So I still hear him. And does it still create a sense of loss that I think that my father will never know my daughter? Yes, and yet on another level, I know that my father knows my daughter. In fact, he knows her better than I do right now. Because Chris and I haven't met her yet. There is something bigger than us. There is something bigger than us and our pain and our loss. There is something so much larger than that. And when we can allow ourselves to really feel the pain, what opens up is the heart of love. And in that space, there is no death. There is nothing. It is truly eternal. So where are you avoiding the pain? Where are you avoiding stepping into that hard space within yourself? Because what's on the other side of that little death is your renewal and your growth and your expansion. Big death means serious growth and expansion in consciousness. Little death also means growth and expansion in consciousness. Can you feel that? In the mind of God, there is no difference between the big deaths and the little deaths. They're all transformations in consciousness. So on this Memorial Day, where has your memory, so you got a couple options here, right? You have the fear of your memory, which is keeping you from actually feeling the love. And you also have the fear of letting the memory go a little, maybe. Of letting it shift and change because you have shifted and changed. So whatever your losses are, whatever the thing is that's dying for you, are you willing to allow something new to grow? Something new to reveal itself. There's a quote from Elia Kazan, which I love. Because what we're always asked to do is to kind of surrender up something that we think we are. Over and over and over and over again, we're asked to surrender up something that we think we are. Surrender it up. What if it's not you? What if you're more than that? What if you're bigger than that? What if you're bigger than the pain? What if you're bigger than the loss? What if you're bigger than what you think this is? Elia Kazan says, you've got to risk your life every 6 months to stay alive. You have to risk your life every 6 months to stay alive. Can you feel the truth in that? That's what we are called to do and to be. So we don't forget and we don't avoid. We step right into it, just like we did together while that slideshow was playing. We all went there. And in that moment, we can be healed. And in that moment, something new and powerful can arise. And because in this teaching, we believe that we do things consciously, it's happening for you whether you are consciously on board or not, right? Just be clear about that, right? Healing is happening, growth is happening. All of that is happening. But when we say yes on a conscious level, our growth and expansion becomes exponential. So as we step into this ritual that we're going to step into in just a few minutes, the invitation is, what is it that you are going to allow to go dormant and in the dirt? We have gladiola bulbs for all of you. And we are going to place those gladiola bulbs in the dirt, into life, into love, into grace, into beauty, into harmony, into that divine soup that is life itself. We're going to place it in that, knowing that even in that darkness, the darkness of the being buried, that everything that that bulb needs to grow, it has. Available to it, accessible to it. There for you. And out of that, something new and powerful and beautiful is going to arise. that's yours, that no one else can be or do. The transformation, the little death that you're invited into today is yours. And we need you. I need you to be transformed. I need you to be more loving. I need you to be more caring because I need to be that too, right? We get to be that for each other. So the ushers are handing out the gladioli bulbs, and we're going to step into a meditative space.
So, these bulbs, as you